It's now my pleasure to introduce Brad Boyd. And Brad, first of all, thank you for pushing back about 12 minutes so we could watch that video. I do appreciate that. Brad is our area support person from, I know that's not your official title, but Brad is a familiar face to us. He's always there to assist us. He comes out of the central office in Indianapolis. Brad is a familiar face in the Nebraska-Iowa district. Brad, we're so delighted to have you talk with us today. What I like about Brad is simply this: he is a Kiwanian. He's been a member, he's been a president, he's been doing all kinds of roles, and he's even a lieutenant governor now. Yay, Brad.
Yay.
Thank you so much, and we're happy to have you here and share some thoughts with us. Hi, buddy.
Hey, thank you so much, Don. Actually, I'm Director of Hoopla and Chief Whipping Boy. I think that's the official title. But my fellow Kiwanians, it's summertime. Oops, let me make sure I'm on. Yep. It's summertime, and I'm enjoying some lemonade season right now. And you know that when you're handed a lemon, you have to make lemonade with it. And when you're handed a worldwide pandemic, you might as well turn it into a plandemic. It's been said that one's vision is not a roadmap, but a compass. And I doubt there's one of us whose roadmap wasn't jolted by the coronavirus. So much for our calendars and 2020 vision. Our clubs and we as members have been forced to shift, change, and embrace new approaches. Like so many of you, as a child, I spent way too many hours playing with Lincoln Logs and Tinker toys. Yes, there was a Gordon Tinker, and as I thought about this presentation, I realized that really we need to be tinkering with most every aspect of our clubs and our organization. This quarantine presents a great time to revamp your club's strategic plan so you may ensure your club remains relevant to changing circumstances and able to seize upon new opportunities. It also is our free ticket to experiment. Our members are granting us some leeway right now to flounder around on their behalf. And even old dogs like me have proven that we can learn a few new tricks. In line with our tinkering approach, I'm suggesting there are 5 building blocks for clubs to work on during this pandemic period and beyond. So let's start with club cohesiveness, I'm sorry. If ever there was a time for clubs to become more tight-knit, wow, this is it. And as much as we Kiwanians wish to save the world and better our communities during times of strife, we must remember that charity begins at home. We must redouble our efforts to stay in close touch with every member of our clubs, just as well as SLP members we sponsor. We need to shower more Kiwanis love on our fellow K family members and up our communications frequency with them. And thank goodness for technology. I know I curse it out once or twice, but high praise for all of you who've learned how to Zoom. Since we've proven we can adjust if change is forced upon us, let's start tinkering some more. Fortunately, there are several silver linings working in our favor. With more folks working from home, we have a more captive audience. So go beyond your list of members and send your e-newsletter and Zoom numbers to anyone in your community connected with youth initiatives so they can connect with Kiwanis and check us out. And the world is our oyster right now. Encourage your members to enter club with others in your division. Then explore more within your district, around the country, even some sister city club visits around the globe. Many clubs have set up calling trees so members can check in with one another. Some have established card trees where one member sends a note to the next person in the alphabet and so on. Make sure that you're seizing every opportunity to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries of your members, and those Kiwanis anniversary joining dates. If possible, place your key clubbers first in line for club scholarships. Our Kiwanis mantra to get through this pandemic: if you need help, ask. If you can provide help, offer. Don't let your Kiwanis club appear to have hunkered down. Now is the time to be more active and garner more awareness in your community so your club is viewed as a bright beacon of hope. This is your time to shine. So share your stories of what I affectionately call pure Kiwanis goodness. So let's explore ways to be more visible in our communities. Here, this club in Missouri staffs a booth to keep kids entertained while their parents shop at their farmer's market. The parents sign a short waiver, the kids get to have some fun, and the shoppers become more aware of our laser beam focus on children and youth. Another silver lining we have with that captive audience: pump up the volume and flood Facebook and others with social media posts. On the left, this club spotlights members with a hashtag Meet Us Monday introduction. On the right, this other club created a hashtag community service challenge where they tag a member every work week to share 5 photos. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And here we see that they sorted 11,205 pounds of produce for the food bank. How awesome is that? Early in the quarantine, I noticed a few neighbors volunteered to pick up groceries for others on the Nextdoor app. I responded that they might want to check out our nearest Kiwanis club, and now we've gained 2 new members. Another popular app is Meetup, and it's a good way to introduce Kiwanis to others who wish to help better their communities. So get appy and tinker away. I love this club's banner. They list nearly 50 local charities they support, funding over $2 million of projects. Wow. So tally up the number of scholarships that your club gives out and the aggregate amount your club has awarded through the years. Track the number of SLP members you've sponsored over time, and publish an annual report like this one to share with the community. Your club should be perceived as a community convener and chief evangelist for all things children and youth. Devote one club meeting as a Kiwanis Summit on children and youth. Assemble a panel discussion with community leaders who represent diverse vantage points and opinions. Share statistics. Make this a big deal, and your club will emerge being viewed as a collaborator and community thought leader. Now, obviously, the economic and societal aftershocks of this pandemic will likely surface new community needs. So tweak your club service projects if need be, and make sure your activities during this quarantine period serve those who are most vulnerable. My club makes handmade cards of encouragement for our K-Kids students, welcoming them to a new school year. We also send them some corny Valentine's cards and distribute some other Valentines to our retirement center residents where we have a Golden K Club in our division. Your club can also serve as a catalyst to bring your community together by sponsoring a chalk walk event to brighten people's spirits. Involve your SLP members in this fun project. They can draw various K family logos and pictures of service projects your club supports. Many Kiwanis clubs support reading initiatives. You too can be a book buddy and stage a drive-through drop-off event in your community. We just opened a new club in Venus, Texas, and the school superintendent asked the police and fire chiefs, town council reps, and other local luminaries to record favorite bedtime stories. They then posted the video clips on their club's Facebook page and promoted it throughout the community. These are a few other organizations that grant wishes and scholarships to military families and appreciation to essential workers. So check those out. Check out the web. I love how this Kiwanis club is sponsoring local or supporting local clubs in their community, encouraging fellow citizens to help keep their unique mom and pop stores alive and vibrant. It's just great to see those signs to encourage folks to shop, dine, and support local stores. Along with a virtual coffee talk they co-sponsor with their chamber friends, this is a great way to reach out for more corporate members. Many clubs are conducting drive-by food collections and stocking personal hygiene essentials in their little free libraries. I know my club is doing that right on the global headquarters parking lot. Many blood drives conducted at business sites have been canceled this year. So check with your local Red Cross chapter or blood bank to see whether your club might help sponsor a community blood drive. The Kiwanians in Hays, Kansas wanted to honor local healthcare heroes. So they secured a Hickson Award with a donation to the Kiwanis Children's Fund. They then made a similar gift to their local hospital's foundation and set up a photo op to share their appreciation as the Hickson tribute was hung in the hospital lobby. This quarantine period has made us appreciate teachers even more. So create a special scholarship fund for teachers. Establish a classroom supply or innovation grant program. Honor an outstanding teacher at schools where your club sponsors SLP programs. And think about hosting a special club meeting to discuss the state of education in your community. Just invite a wide array of education leaders to serve on a panel and then promote it throughout your community. Some clubs and districts have even been devoting funds to purchase iPads for kids who don't have internet access. My friends in Missouri are hoping to place a buddy bench on every school playground where they sponsor a K-Kids club. And our Kansas district governor has started coupling club visits with talks to fifth graders so they are more attuned to relatives struggling with opioid abuse. And one of the greatest concerns I hear from club leaders all around is that so many annual fundraising events have been canceled. So I've been compiling a list of over 25 virtual fundraising ideas. Yes, there are all sorts of running, walking, wine tasting, food pairing events, and online auctions out there. But I prefer events where you can share a bit of information about Kiwanis and your club with guests. So those are the ones I want to share with you now. Lots of clubs host fun golf tournaments, but foursomes usually just grumble and complain about the heat or their crummy shots. I suggest you print up some signs. As folks tee off, ask them a question about your club, and then when they make it to the putting green, provide the answer. That may just shift the conversation. And it seems like a lot of clubs are publishing a quarantine cookbook chock full of yummy comfort food recipes. You can pepper it with facts about your club's impact in the community, and then cook up some sales. You might also approach your parks department, public library, or sponsored schools and see whether they have any outdoor areas that they'd like to have bricked over. If so, you can launch a fundraising campaign to raise monies for a Kiwanis Memorial Walkway or Plaza. It's a great way to leverage your members' networking connections with civic and business leaders. Out of all the virtual fundraising ideas, this scavenger hunt is one that keeps resonating with me because you can actually send folks around to snap selfies at local landmarks where your club is engaged, and then finish up at the place where you meet, where your club meets, and give them a take-home dinner to take home with them. This could also be a fun orientation for new members. The final building block for pandemic success revolves around the simple fact that we cannot do more service without bringing more members into our clubs. In response to societal changes, we need to make Kiwanis more accessible. Heck, we just sent astronauts to the moon and back again, so go launch a satellite. There are likely teachers and young professionals who cannot attend your meetings, but have a heart for service. All you need is one club member who is willing to set up an after hours or Saturday service gathering once a month. And this is certainly a good time to perform a KI roster analysis. It's out on the website. Just compile a list of professions missing in action from your club. In fact, one of our clubs created a most wanted poster over on the left-hand or right-hand side, listing occupational openings, and asked members to share it on their own Facebook pages to get the word out. Our clubs need to embrace inclusion and seek greater diversity so they more truly reflect the complexion of their communities. So I'm sharing a simple approach of mine. While your local chamber is a great resource, I urge you to check out niche business directories for prospective members. Most of these are easily found online. I bet you can type in veteran-owned businesses in whatever your community is, and you'll get 4 or 5 new names of prospects. I'm hoping a lot of your clubs host the Kiwanis One Day Community Service Project and include our SLP friends. So kick it up a notch and host a Kiwanis 1+1 Day, where each Kiwanian invites a couple of folks to join them in service. Afterwards, you just need to call those who help first thing on Monday morning. You ask them one simple question. Are you ready to join Kiwanis right now? Or do you need to attend a friggin' club meeting to seal the deal? You don't give them any wiggle room. And I think each of us could benefit from listening more closely to new members who join our clubs. One club asks each member to share their local charity of choice along with their application. Then they take $20 of the new member ad fee that comes back to the club, and they make a donation in honor of that person. As a result, their Kiwanis club is listed in almost every nonprofit report in town, and their new member receives a letter informing them of the surprise donation in their name. Then the genius part is that they pair the newbie up with a veteran member to organize a service project for the club to support that charity of choice. So engage new members early and often. So I'm asking all of you to think more about ways that you can tinker now with your clubs in order to make Kiwanis more relevant to your communities and more appealing for future generations. Ask this question at every club meeting. How many guests will you be bringing to participate in our next service project or club meeting? Membership is a numbers game, and the law of averages tell us we must get more people to kick the tires and check us out. Heck, we may even want to tinker with our wording choices. Words do matter. Instead of being mere members, maybe we should call ourselves child advocates or champions for children. And ponder this: joining is what a member does. Belonging is how a member feels. Joining is a transaction. Belonging is an experience. Joining is rational. Belonging is emotional. Joining is episodic. Belonging lasts longer, perhaps forever. We talk a lot about asking folks to join Kiwanis, but maybe we should start asking them to belong. In closing, just imagine what more we can accomplish on behalf of our communities if we secure more hands for service. For every new member we bring into Kiwanis, we get to extend our service to another 206 children around the world. And think about the legacy we'll be leaving future generations if we're able to more greatly impact the lives of the kids we are so privileged to serve. Yes, I think we sometimes take it for granted. It's a distinct privilege to serve children and youth. We certainly appreciate your efforts to shower this weary world with pure Kiwanis goodness, and I urge each of you to keep tinkering with Kiwanis.